What would you say to, the billionaires in this country now from this bill, some of the biggest tax cuts and tax breaks for the richest people in this country? What would you say to that? There's a lot of people in America that are not happy with that. What would you say to that in this bill in particular?
Oh, but let's look at it. I mean, 38% of the people voted for the bill. I mean, let me rephrase it. 38% of the public supports the bill. So you tell me the politicians don't care. So here, let me get out the Brian and Anthony Scaramucci decoder ring. Folks, you don't have to buy the cereal. You don't have to dig into the box. What Brian and I are telling you is I'm the politician. I'm going to make out. My buddies are going to make out. You're not going to make out. But you know what? I don't care, because I'm going to figure out a way, hook or crook, to get reelected and start this cycle again. And whether you make out or you don't make it, I don't care, because it has no impact on the success of me staying in office. Mm-hmm. And that is exactly what's going on right now. Because if you said 50 years ago, when our districts were not gerrymandered and there were Republicans and Democrats in the district, you said 50 years ago, this is going to go down, because I can't vote for that. I'm going to get voted out of office.
Right. Okay.
So that's what's going on, Brian. And for me, it's heartbreaking, because it's not going to help the country. And Elon is right about this. Now, Trump is saying, well, we took away his electric car subsidy, so he's hurt. I mean, Elon, I know Elon. I'm an investor of his. We can talk about the pluses and minuses of his personality, but he's very, very wealthy guy. He doesn't care about that. He's looking at the macro here. He studied the American budget. He says our costs are going to go up faster than we can grow the economy. That will touch off a debt crisis. And so the definition of a debt crisis for a Wall Streeter like me is I have to borrow the money to pay the interest on the money that I previously borrowed. Once that kicks in, once that flywheel kicks in, it's over. And again, let me remind viewers and listeners of this. You do not, and I repeat, you do not get something for free. If the government's going to add $3.1 trillion of deficit spending, well, guess what's going to happen? They're not going to tax you? No, you are being taxed. You're being taxed by the most regressive, most pernicious tax, and that's inflation.
But Mooch,
they can't do it. They have to print the money to afford it, because you're not willing to pay it out of your checking account.
Yeah.
And so the money in your checking account looks the same to you,
right?
But it's gone down in terms of purchasing power.